everybody. Students, today we are going to see 5th chapter, Molecular Genetics. In that, the following sub-concepts are our main concern today. Gene as the functional unit of inheritance. In search of the genetic material. DNA is the genetic material. Chemistry of nucleic acids. RNA world and properties of genetic materials. For this year, 5.4, chemistry of nucleic acid is deleted portion. Introduction. Students, in this slide, you are going to see the important keywords. I hope you know the meaning for genes. A sequence within the nucleic acid that represents a single protein that we call genes. Here we have a second word called genome. It is organism's a complete set of DNA, including all of its genes. It contains the complete set of hereditary information for any organisms. It is divided into number of different nucleic acid molecules, say for example DNA and RNA. What is the function of this DNA? You know very well, students. DNA directs the construction of proteins. Proteins in turn determine the shape of the cells, the rate of the chemical reactions. So in this diagram here, you can see the cell. Inside the cell, you can find the genome. It is nothing but the total complete set of DNA. And here you can see the chromosomes. And again, when you go inside, very deep into the chromosome, you can see the genes. So they direct the synthesis of proteins. The second one is gene as the functional unit of inheritance. Students, you know very well the concepts of Gregor Mendel. First, he didn't use the word gene. He used the word factor instead of the gene. And who coined the term gene for the factor? Later, the word factor was replaced by gene by Willem Johansen in the year 1909. He was the first scientist to introduce the term gene. And next, there is one more concept, classical concept of gene that was introduced by Sutton in 1902. What is that? It discrete particles that follow Mendelian rules responsible for phenotypic character. The phenotypic characters are represented by classical concepts. And next one, properties of gene. What are the properties? This is very important concept. You know very well the meaning for genes, and here we are going to study the properties. First one, genes. When you see a human being, you can find out more numbers of genes. Here, it is more than the number of chromosomes. Hence, several genes are located on the same chromosomes. And how they are arranged? The genes are arranged in a linear order. Then locus. What is the meaning of locus? The genes, they occupy a specific position that is called locus, and loci, that is plural form. Alleles. What are alleles? The alternative form of genes are called alleles. Mutation, you know very well. All the genes, they have the chance for mutation. And replication, I hope you know the meaning for replication. It can duplicate their own copies. All the genes, they can duplicate their own copies. In 1848, Wilhelm Hofmeister, a German botanist, had observed the chromosome. So first we came to observe the chromosome. And next one, in the year 1869, Friedrich Miescher, a Swiss physician, isolated nuclein. Then it was renamed as nucleic acid. If we say nuclein, no one knows about the nuclein. But nucleic acid we know. So that name was replaced by Altman in the year 1889 and now known as DNA. Then by 1920, it became clear that chromosomes are made up of proteins and DNA. This is a very, very important discovery, a milestone in the genetics. Then many experiments were carried out to study the actual carriers of genetic information. So what carries our genetic information from one generation to next generation? Now in the year 1928, Griffith experiments, he proved that DNA is the genetic material. He was the first person to prove DNA is the genetic material. I hope you have studied in lower classes about the bacterial transformation. So in that, it was very clearly proved DNA is the genetic material. However, he couldn't understand the cause for bacterial transformation and the biochemical nature of genetic material was not defined from his experiment. But however, he was the first to give the experimental proof for DNA is the genetic material. It also says about DNA is the genetic material. You know very well the transforming principle is the DNA. Here, Oswald Avery, Colin McNabb, McLean McCarthy, in the year 1944, they repeated the Griffith experiment. And you know very well the S strain and R strain. These are all we have studied in lower classes. And by this, they have isolated the DNA and introduced into another type of strain. This slide is to recall. I hope you know very well the S strain, R strain, and the S strain heated one, and a mix of living R strain and a dead S strain. What was your result? When we inject the virulent, you know very well the mouse died. When R strain is injected, the mouse lived. When S strain is treated, then injected, the mouse lived. When both are mixed, again the mouse died because the transforming principle was DNA. 5.3, DNA is the genetic material. Many biologists, you know very well, they believed that protein was the hereditary material, not the DNA. It was the previous thought. Now after that, they came to know, they conducted many experiments and proved DNA is the genetic material. However, when you observe the cell, you can easily find out the equal amount of protein and DNA. First experiment, Horsey and Chase experiment on T2 bacteriophage. The picture clearly shows, you can easily observe a picture as well as a zip file. Both you can observe. Alfred Horsey and Martha Chase. These two scientists conducted an experiment on bacteriophages. Students, I hope you know the meaning for bacteriophages. So what is the meaning of bacteriophages? I hope, yes, you are correct. So bacteriophages means the virus which infect the bacterium. It is not only infect, also it also kills the bacterium. Okay, that is called bacteriophage. Here, the T2 bacteriophage is taken. What they did, when the phages, you know the meaning for phages, phages means virus, are added to bacteria, they absorb to the surface. So here you can observe they are absorbed. They are absorbed means they are attached at the surface. Some materials enter into the bacterium. Now what are the material they enter into that? The DNA. Later, each bacterium lyses to release a large number of progenophage. So what is the meaning of lysis? Breakdown. So after that, they break the bacteria and release the phages. See here how the experiment done by Hershey and Chase. Hershey and Chase wanted to observe whether it was DNA or protein that enter into the bacteria. I told the phage DNA enter into the bacteria. That I know, that's why I told. Now, Hershey and Chase, they wanted to prove. Okay. Now what they did? Nucleic acid contains phosphorus and protein contains sulfur. These they have taken. Now they designated an experiment using radioactive isotope, and they have taken two isotopes. One is sulfur and another one is phosphorus. Now sulfur, when we add, it will enter into the protein. When we add phosphorus, the isotope, it is a component into the nucleic acid. So in the protein, the sulfur is the component. So sulfur will not enter into the nucleic acid, or it will not be the component of the nucleic acid. As well as phosphorus is not a component in the protein. That is the main concept you must know. The phages were allowed to infect the bacteria in culture medium which containing the radioactive isotope 35S or 32B. Now the bacteriophage that grew into the presence of 35S had labeled proteins and 32P had labeled DNA. So what they identified? What is the inference? The differential labeling thus enabled them to identify DNA and proteins of the phages. So they can easily identify the proteins as well as the DNA. At the end, now this is the experiment setup as present in our textbook. At the end, what they indicated, only DNA, not the protein coat, enter into the bacterial cell. Thus, Hershey and Chase concluded that it was DNA, not protein, which carries the hereditary information from virus to bacteria. 5.5 RNA word. So before enter into the topic, I hope students you know very well there are three types of RNA. Can you remember? One is, yes, you are correct, T RNA, then R RNA, then M RNA. So these are all the three types of RNAs. I hope you have studied in lower classes. Okay. So mRNA. What is mRNA? Messenger RNA. Then tRNA, transfer RNA. And rRNA, ribosomal RNA. Now we go inside. You know very well, the RNA in some organisms, they function as a genetic material as well as catalyst. You know the meaning for catalyst. Several biochemical reactions are catalyzed by the RNAs. This catalytic RNA is known as ribosome. But RNA being a catalyst was reactive, hence unstable. So RNAs are mostly unstable. They change. Some RNA molecules function as a gene regulators by binding to DNA and affect gene expression. Some viruses use RNA as genetic material. Henry Fire and Hugh Millo, the recipient of Nobel Prize in 2006. You have to remember this scientist, two scientists. Sometimes they may ask one more question. Henry Fire and Hugh Millo. So these two scientists, they received the Nobel Prize. That the opinion of them were RNA is an active ingredient in the chemistry of life. Now, what are the properties of genetic material? Here we have DNA as well as RNA, because in few cases the RNA function as a genetic material. That's why we have taken both. So whatever it may be, the first property is self-replication. So both DNA and RNA, they have the ability to direct duplication. Duplication means replication or multiplication. But the proteins, they fail to fulfill this criteria. They won't replicate. Never. And stability. Stability was clearly evident in Griffith transforming principle. This is a one more question. So Griffith, he was the first person to say the stability of DNA and RNA. DNA is chemically more stable and less reactive when compared to RNA. The presence of thymine instead of uracil in DNA confers additional stability to DNA. You know very well the major difference between DNA and RNA is the presence of the thymine. The thymine is present in DNA and uracil is present in RNA. That is a major difference. So the presence of thymine gives stability to DNA. Next, information storage property. You know very well, it expresses itself in the form of Mendelian characters. RNA can directly code for protein synthesis. DNA depends on RNA for synthesis of protein. You know very well, DNA can duplicate and transcribe to produce mRNA. Later only they can produce a protein. So DNA can't direct the protein synthesis. Both DNA and RNA can act as a genetic material, but DNA being more stable, they can store more genetic information and DNA transfer the genetic information. Variation through mutation. Both DNA and RNA are able to mutate. You know very well, these two can undergo mutation so that the product, the protein synthesis may be deferred. RNA being unstable, they mutate very faster than DNA. Thus, viruses having RNA genome with a shorter lifespan can mutate and evolve faster. That's why nowadays you know very well the coronavirus, they mutate very faster because their genome, they have the very short lifespan. That's why it mutated very faster. In general, both RNA and DNA can function as a genetic material. We have to agree. Then DNA is more stable and it is preferred for storage of genetic information. The central dogma of protein synthesis, here you can easily observe the central dogma, that is a DNA duplicate and here transcription, then here translation. So by transcription, you will get mRNA. By translation, you will get a proteins. Thank you, children. We continue in the next class. Thank you.